Hello, American Patriots. Douglas Ducote here. Today, finally, President Trump gets some good news from the courts. In this case, it happened to be the U.S. Supreme Court, sadly, because this should have been a no-brainer at the lower courts. And that is a ruling on detaining those that are in our country illegally. As you may or may not know, the lower courts, especially in places like California, not only have disagreed with our policy, but in many cases, they have allowed the cities and counties to not turn over these people after they've been charged with a crime to ICE. And they're not letting ICE know they're there, and they're just releasing them back out on the streets. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court finally said, enough's enough. The president has the authority to do what he's doing, and I will read to you real quick just a briefing from that particular court case. The Supreme Court on Tuesday endorsed the U.S. government's authority to detain immigrants awaiting deportation any time, potentially even years, after they have completed prison terms for criminal convictions, handing President Trump a victory as he pursues hardline immigration policies. Now, this is very important. The court ruled 5-4 along ideology lines, with its conservative justices in the majority and its liberal justices dissenting, that federal authorities could pick up such immigrants and place them into indefinite detention anytime, not just immediately after they finish their prison sentence. So, what does that mean? Well, if we know that San Francisco, who wants to be a sanctuary city, happens to have someone that's illegal, committed a crime, they've been arrested, they're in their jail. Once we know they're there, our law enforcement officials from the federal government may go in there and remove them the day before they're scheduled to be released or throughout their sentencing time, based on the fact that we know what their policy is, and that is they're going to release them back onto the street. So there's going to be challenges to this. Although the Supreme Court is the final determination and makes the final decision, the ACLU is all up in arms. The Democrats, the far left, they're beyond themselves right now over this ruling. I'd like to say that it's a victory for all law-abiding citizens in America, but there are law-abiding citizens in America that, in their minds, this is horrible and this is not the way you should treat any human being. They don't take the time to realize who these people are and the crimes they committed. They don't even want to know what their crimes are. They just want to put them back with their families and let them go about their way here in America. By doing so, they have set free many people across our nation that are hard-abiding criminals that should have never been here in the first place, and some of them that have been deported before and have come back. Now, as you know, we have a bunch on the left, as well as the Democrats, that are preaching that there is no crisis on the border. The wall is coming up as I speak in a rapid pace. I know for a fact, and I brought this to you before, that there is a crisis on the border. I have friends that are down there serving on the border and law enforcement. And I will be going down there myself very soon, and we'll be broadcasting. I'm going to do a live broadcast from the border. We're going to interview some agents, and we're going to interview people that are down there that are working 24/7. And I'm going to show you exactly what they're up against and what they're finding and the type of danger that our law enforcement is in because of this tragedy that's happening down there. So stay tuned. That's to come very, very soon. So for now, this is great news. Trump should, if nothing else, at least relax a little bit on this decision, as should all of those angel moms, because those are the ones that are hurting the worst. And if you don't know who angel moms are, please look it up. Briefly, they are the mothers whose child, be it a child or be it an adult, was taken because of the results of someone who was in this country illegally. So, in a way, it's a little bit of a blessing for them. Anyhow, that's great news. There's more to come on this, I'm sure. There's going to be cities that are going to double down on the sanctuary policies, that are going to be bucking the federal system, even the Supreme Court. Because as far as they're concerned, the Supreme Court doesn't speak for them. It only speaks for conservatives, not all Americans. So more will come out of this, trust me. And as we go on, I hope that we see in the near future the mayors of these sanctuary cities being arrested and charged with violation of federal laws that are already on the books, mind you. And now we have just that much extra to help our federal law enforcement officers. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our president, and our country. And to all those that are liberal and Democrat that listen to my channel, and there's a bunch of you, I know, I see your comments all the time. Conservatives, Republicans, patriot Americans, we welcome people from all countries to come to America. America is a melting pot from other nations, but we welcome you to go through the proper legal channels, not illegally, and then become a criminal in the process. And at no time do we ever agree to what's happening on the border when it comes to the drugs and the human trafficking and the gangs. That, hopefully now, can be another thorn in their side to put an end to it. Hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. And for now, I'm Douglas Ducote, and I'm out.